Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Toon 215, and right now we're in the state of Pennsylvania. We're currently in the city of Philadelphia. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the neighborhood called Little Saigon. That can be considered one of Philadelphia's Vietnamese hoods. It is one of Philadelphia's largest population of Vietnamese residents. We have several other neighborhoods in the city that have Asians and other Vietnamese residents. However, this is known as one of the largest. We're at Washington. We're on Washington Ave. We're traveling westbound on Washington Ave. It's about 76 degrees right now. 76 degrees. It's a Friday. Beautiful day. It's a little windy. We're in South Philadelphia. On our right-hand side, we have the Queens Village neighborhood. On our left-hand side, we have the Dickinson Narrows. Now, Little Saigon is a little closer towards 8th and Washington. We're not at 8th and Washington yet, so I'm gonna let you know when we get there. Now, Little Saigon is one of those neighborhoods that's loosely defined. It's not outlined on Google Maps like most neighborhoods. Looks like they're building some luxury apartments right there. We're approaching the Mummers Museum on our left-hand side. We're at the intersection of 2nd and Washington. The Mummers Museum hosts a lot of the Mummers Parade history. Philadelphia has a popular Mummers Parade that happens annually. So we're crossing 2nd Street, and remember I said we need to get to 8th Street. 8th Street is, you can say, the epicenter of Little Saigon. See that mural? Now I remember back in the day when I was a kid and I used to go to the movies, which is right around the corner from here. I recall seeing groups of young Asian men, probably in their teens, urbanized. What do I mean when I say urbanized? What I mean is they would have like baggy clothes, the braids, the fitted caps, the Nikes, the Jordans, the name brand, and they were the younger, I guess the offspring, like the children or the descendants of maybe the people who migrated over from Vietnam generations ago. It was either Vietnamese or Cambodian, because Philadelphia also had a lot of Cambodians. I remember growing up. Magic Touch Car Center. Then you got Washington Kitchen and Granite. We just passed Moya Mensing Ave. We passed Moya Mensing. We're now approaching 3rd Street. We're traveling westbound on Washington Ave. You got B&J hardwood kitchen flooring, wholesale cabinets and baths, imported since 1999. You got one of the projects right there. One of the still remaining projects still standing. You got crystal windows on our left and Ping An window and door supply. On our left, we have Jefferson Square Park. Jefferson Square Park was established in 1854. This park right here on my left-hand side. We have a beautiful little dog right here. The dog got some heart. The dog had a heart. It'll be the littlest dogs with the baddest bark, right? The biggest bark. It's so windy today, guys. I'm sorry for the audio quality. And I'm gonna cross the street right now. I'm walking on an island, like one of those little islands that they used to partition the road. So I'm just gonna walk on the sidewalk. You got a couple of the OGs on the left hanging out in the park, up to their Friday shenanigans. All right, right now we're at 4th and Washington. We're about 4 blocks away from our desired start destination. But I thought it'd be cool to show you the transition from neighborhood to neighborhood. Looks like you got a soccer team on our left, training. It's like a female teenage soccer team. You can check out the housing. I believe that's low-income housing. If anybody wants to correct me, you can feel free to do so if I'm wrong. You got a Taco Loco food cart right here. Check it out. Tacos. You have the park over here. There's a pool. So right now, we're about, I would say, 8 minutes, give or take, from the stadium, from all of the sports complex entertainment stuff. Depending on traffic, you might get there a little faster, a little later. We're about, I would say, 8 to 10 minutes away from City Hall. Not far, really close to Center City. 95 is behind me. The Interstate 95 to get to Florida, get to Maine, travel northbound, southbound. That's behind me, like a minute up the road. We're at 5th and Washington. South Philadelphia is a lot cleaner for the most part. I shot a music video here before on this block for a client on 5th and Washington. All right, guys, so now when we enter Little Saigon, you're not gonna see, as you can see, we passed some businesses that are Asian inspired. You're not gonna see a bunch of younger folk like you see in my hood or in other areas of the city just hanging out and politicking. You'll rarely see that amongst the Asian community, at least nowadays. Like I said, when I was younger, I remember I actually see groups of them like mobbing the streets, 10, 15, you know, with jerseys, basketball jerseys and all that. Nowadays, I don't really see that. But we're still gonna explore the neighborhood. Yeah, several businesses over here across the street. We got a manicure business on my left, a gold business. And these are Asian-owned businesses. A windows business across the street. The reason why I say they're Asian-owned is because below the business name, the small print says the name in their respective language. We're at 6th and Washington. I have about, I would say, a dozen people riding by me. Nah, probably not a dozen. That's a bad calculation. Half a dozen. 3 bicycles, 2 walkers. That's 5. That don't even count for half a dozen, but close. That was a guesstimation. So right now we're at Little Saigon Maxim New World Plaza right here. They got the restaurant, Maxim Restaurant, Vietnamese Kitchen, Vin Kung Gift Shop. There's a lot of other businesses here. Like there's one like right there, check it out. So this whole entire plaza is all Asian businesses, different tea spots, different Chinese cuisine and so on. Even across the street, you see across the street. So if y'all want, for the sake of the video, we're about to hit 7th Street. For the sake of the video, I'm just gonna walk through here. just so I can show y'all. Y'all can get like a little virtual tour of their plaza, see what type of businesses they got. Pho Noodle House. Shing Ki. Now I know when I was young and I was growing up and I went to Edison, we didn't have a high Asian population, but I did have a couple Asian homies in school. My homies like Chung. Had a homie named Chung, or we used to call him Kung. Had another homie named, what's up with this lady? She reversed. I had another homie named V, another homie named Nam, rest in peace, Nam, N-A-M, Nam. Did all the businesses. I had a couple homies and they were urbanized, like they were like real hood. They grew up with Hispanics and African Americans, and they dressed like us, they talk like us. You know, they was regular, they was the homies. So this is one of the little plazas. This is where you can get some Asian food. I know I have a couple viewers. I know I have this one viewer, my female viewer. She's of Asian descent. She eats here. She watches my videos avidly and she supports them. And she's mentioned this area very highly. She's spoken about them very highly on several occasions. We're passing like a glasses business. So we're gonna go around the block. We can just classify this all as part of the tour. There's an Oriental Supply supermarket right there. Oriental, you see it? Supermarket. So you could probably get like the different soy sauces, the duck sauces, Genotiso sauce, garlic sauce, the what's that called from Rick and Morty? Szechuan sauce. Szechuan. That's funny. I tried Szechuan. It wasn't all as cracked up to be. I thought it was gonna be something amazing, and when I tried it, I'm like, nah. I mean, the Szechuan sauce that Rick and Morty was hyping up was the one from McDonald's. So I don't know if that made a big difference, if McDonald's put some secret ingredient that made it taste much more delicious. But yeah, Szechuan sauce. I prefer garlic or Genotiso sauce myself. Or sweet and sour is pretty good. That must sound hungry, right? We're on Federal, y'all. Right now we're in South Philadelphia. This is the 1200 block of South 6th Street. So I can go up another block or I can make a right. I think I'm gonna make a right. You guys can see some of the neighborhood. Yeah, a little block right here, Marshall Street. I kind of want to go through it. Oh, there's that little block with a nice little park. Hold on, let's go through this. This got a nice little park. So we're gonna go around this park. This park's gonna be our little detour. We're gonna hook around it, go straight, make a right, make a right. And then we're gonna walk back towards Washington so y'all can see at least 8th and Washington. I mean, there's not really much out there like monumental, but at least you can see what's designated on Google as one of the epicenters. And not only, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but not only is it the largest Vietnamese community in Philadelphia, but along the East Coast. Yeah, that's big, it being one of the largest Vietnamese neighborhoods. But it lies in Passyunk Square, Passyunk neighborhood. Yeah, it lies in that. So it's because this is like right next to it. Yeah, check out this jungle gym. Exclusive, right? Nice jungle gym. Nice park. Nice little block. And look at this. Nice little houses across the street. So if you moved across the street, you'll have, I can't say ample parking, but you'll have ample green space. Plenty of green space to walk your dog or play with your children or just chillax. All right, we're gonna make this right hand turn. Oh wow, look at that beautiful classic. That thing is amazing. Wow. Spectacular. A Plymouth. Convertible, there you got the top down too. So this park right here that we just passed is called Gold Star Park. Gold Star Park. See, welcome to Gold Star Park, located at 613 Wharton Street. So I could have went down there, or I could have kept on going straight. I'm gonna go here and then I'll make a right at the corner. This should bring us to 7th Street, and we'll be a block away from 8th Street. But we'll walk it right back up. So right now we're walking westbound. We're gonna walk right, we're gonna walk northbound, and then get back onto Washington Ave. We just made a right on 7th Street. We're in a residential neighborhood. You got all sorts of homes, 2 stories, 2 different sizes, 3 stories, about 2 or 3 different size 3 stories. We're approaching Latanya Street or Latona. We have the 47 bus driving by, 5th and Godfrey. Passing the 700 block of Latona. My boy rocking the Joe Dirt. Alright, so right now we're approaching Manton. I'm gonna cross the street here just to get in the shade. Get in the shade, show you guys another view of another block. Now, keep in mind, I have covered this neighborhood dozens of times via driving tour. If you're new to the channel, I have over 1,800 videos on my channel. Over 500 tours covering the Philadelphia area, all different neighborhoods. All right, we're passing Federal. We're on 7th and Federal. You got Tamalex. It looks like a Hispanic Mexican restaurant. You even got the basement cellars over here. In some of the houses, they still have them. You see that? I think that's neat. I ain't never had that growing up. My house didn't have that. That's just another entry point, though, to get in the house. Passing Annin Street. Or Annin, A-N-N-I-N. Oh, look at that block. So clean and uniform, right? For the most part. Not in style, but just in cleanliness. The only thing you really see on the ground nowadays, I mean, BS, because I see cups and junk. They must smell somebody's dryer wipes. But I see a lot of leaves. This is like a little chilly. Last night it was 45 degrees. Yeah, last night was definitely quilt weather. Put on the blanket. Just to stay a little warm. We're passing Ellsworth. This is Ellsworth. So remember, these are all blocks we're passing that could potentially be explored, but for the sake of Little Saigon, we're gonna focus on 8th and Washington for right now. And then from there, we'll just spread out. Like I said, it's loosely defined. So if you look at any other neighborhood in Philadelphia, for example, if you look at Dickinson Narrows, if you look at Passyunk Square, if you look at Point Breeze, whichever one you look at, even like Gray's Ferry, if you look at those neighborhoods are outlined very well, highlighted in blue, and there's an outline around the perimeter so you know where you're traveling to. Little Saigon is one of the ones that does not have a defined outline. It just tells you where it's at, where it starts at, and then I guess, you know, it's a thin line between other neighborhoods. All right, we're approaching 7th and Washington. We're back on Washington. When you come to South Philly, you can't think of South Philly without thinking of Washington Ave. South Philly, you think of Washington Ave, you think of Snyder Ave, you think of Oregon Ave, things like that. You understand? All right, we're passing Washington, crossing over. Check it out, Washington's a pretty wide street. They're doing some street work. So we're gonna go up about a block or two, just to be fair, on the opposite half. This is the northern hemisphere of Washington. We're gonna travel to the opposite side for a block or two, then make a left, then we'll come back up 8th Street. That's gonna put us back on what Google says is the epicenter of Little Saigon. Now this is just 1 block away from the epicenter, so I guess you can count this as the neighborhood. And I didn't really want to mention it, but I have been seeing not only Asian residents, but I've been seeing Mexican-American residents or Mexican residents. Because they have the chinkier eyes, or maybe from South America, from Peru or Ecuador, or, you know, Venezuela and all those places. All right, we're passing Kimball Street. We're approaching Carpenter. It looks like we have a group of students over here on my left. Look at this one, she's running to her parent. Look at that, that was her parent. We're on Passyunk Ave. Passyunk Ave. They just installed a bunch of those white sticks, you see those? All throughout the Kensington neighborhood. All right, we're on Carpenter. Let's make this left on Carpenter instead of going up another block. Because I could go up another block, but it's cool. Let's make this left. Oh, we got a family over here. All right, we're going to make a left here and then make another left. That should take us to 8th Street. Look, they got the shutters. Functional shutters. Look at the front of the house. All the vines are on it. That's funny. There's no such thing as the poop fairy. Clean up after your dog. They get mad. It's the bad thing about having grass in front of your house. You have grass in front of your house, that's gonna welcome dogs to take a poop. Look at, there's another sign right here too. No poop or pee zone. Wow, they don't want your dog to do either. That's funny. Wow, look at that building. That building right there is nice. They got the garage and everything in it, right? Damn, that's hot. Damn, that's a flex right there. That's a flex right there, bro. That right there is definitely over $1 million. What block are we on? We're 8th and Carpenter. That's 739 Carpenter Street, Philadelphia, PA. Well, I don't know what the zip code's gonna be, but just type in what I just said. On 8th and Carpenter. You can check out the property value there. I want 8th, so let's make this left-hand turn. There's a handful of businesses here, once you turn the corner, that specialize in Asian assistance. Not Asian assistance, I think that would probably be rude. In Vietnamese, probably immigrant assistance. I don't know, maybe the people who migrate over here. Wu, Thai, Tak, Tong, herbs. That looks like it could be like a medical spot, but over here, I know there's a travel agency. See right here, US Vietnam Express. Choi Yen Tien Nham Ban Ve Mai Bai Kai. I don't know how to say that. US Vietnam Express Corporation. Over here, there's what looks to be like some sort of Vietnamese eatery. Check this out. American flags right here. Law offices, which had Asian lawyer names. Over here, Van Phong Law Office, another one. So now we're basically was considered the epicenter. But I'm assuming all throughout this area, you know, there's different residences with Vietnamese homeowners or renters or whatever. On League Street, this is League Street. Here in South Philly, there's also a lot of Mexican businesses that work hand in hand with the Asian businesses. Look, Los Calnes Food Market. That's a Mexican spot. And then they got a Vietnamese spot right here, Vietnamese hoagies. So if you want to try Vietnamese hoagie, they got the friendly lounge. So right now we're at 8th and Washington. You got Southeast Health Center right there. You have a couple Asian residents that are waiting to board the bus. They're waiting for the bus stop over there. Older residents. One thing is that Asians have been wearing the face masks since way before 2017, 2018. They've been wearing face masks for a long time. I think it has a lot to do with, in their country, they, I think it might be like a common thing for airborne illnesses to go around. So since there's so many of them, they try to protect themselves. So they're already accustomed to it. Because I remember back in the 2000s, like I used to go on the train and I used to see somebody, like in the year 2011, I used to see somebody, an Asian older person with a mask. And I always wondered like why they wearing the mask. But it never occurred to me. You got a motor business, authorized motor service, complete auto repair. Oh, you got a little old lady right there. Hi. I pointed at her and I waved. She looked at me like I was crazy. E-bike business. E-bike business. But you see a little bit of graffiti. You see a few pieces of straight paper, but you don't really see a lot of negligence. Everything's pretty well maintained, well cared for. They do a pretty good job of taking care of the community. Oh wow, they have one heck of a Honda Element right here. I have to take a look at this. They got a heck of a roof box. Oh, and they got the ladder. I love the little ladder in the back. Oh, that is dope. I love the ladder. I looked it up. I think the ladder was like $1.89, almost $2 something. Wow, that is dope. That's tough. Simple and it gets the job done, right? Look at, we stumbled on this nice little block. Look at, we could walk in the street, low key. Virtual tour in the street. All right, we're coming off of Ellsworth. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn. That's a crazy sticker, right? I had another Asian homie in high school named Alan. He was really smart. He ended up being the valedictorian of our whole graduating class. His name was Alan, and he played basketball like crazy. He was sharp with it. He actually got a scholarship. He got a full basketball scholarship. One of my other Asian homies, the Asian homie I said, Kung, he ended up marrying a Puerto Rican John, and he had a Puerto Rican mixed kid. And he was Vietnamese, so I think his kid came out Vietnamese and Puerto Rican. We used to have a Chinos around the way. It was on 2nd Street, and the owner's name was Sonny. Well, he was the nephew of the owners, but he used to act like he owned that joint. But he used to be the one taking the orders, and he used to prep the food too and all that. He had a Puerto Rican wife, and his kids were mixed. And since he was of Asian descent, but his wife was Puerto Rican, he spoke Spanish, so he could take orders in Spanish, and he used to use Spanish seasoning in the food. So in the chicken wings, or the totones, or in the French fry, like he would use things like sazon, adobo, and he would use other ingredients to make it like pop more. You know what I mean? To make it taste better. Yeah. Yeah, I think my homie Kung became a business accountant. I think he was a business accountant. Because one day he hit me up, he said, yo, bro, let me know if you need me to manage your, let me know if you need me to manage your account. Bro, I kind of need like a whole crap load of money for you to manage it. You ain't gonna manage 10 bucks. Say nah. No, but seriously, like, you know, I don't think I'm gonna need like any money assistance until I get to the millions. When I get to the millions, and it's like, all right, maybe let me hire an expert so they can tell me where to place this. Bitcoin or say nah. Yo, I saw, what was it, a Bitcoin the other day? Was it a Bitcoin? It was going for like $19,000. $19,000, guys, for one. I think it was that. One of them. I was like, what? So we're on 7th and Wharton. We came through here earlier. We were on the other side of the street, and we went behind us. Now we're traveling through another area. Passing Sears. That block right there is called Sears Street. Like the business, whatever happened to it? Did they file bankruptcy? Remember Circuit City? Remember Circuit City? I don't know how many of y'all had Circuit City in your states, but we had Circuit City here in Philly. It was like an electronics, an appliance and electronic business. Or remember American Appliance? Yeah, American Appliance too. Circuit City and American Appliance. I think both of them filed bankruptcy too. Chapter 11. No, look at all those plants. The house, they really love plants. All right, we're on Reed. 7th and Reed. I'm gonna go up probably like another block. Then I'm gonna make a right. Then I'm gonna go past 8th Street. I'm gonna probably go to like 9th Street, so y'all can see a little bit of what's behind 8th Street. Then I'm gonna come back up to Washington. We'll probably walk through Washington to come back down like 5th, 6th Street. Just keep playing around with it, because it's such a narrow zone. But the good thing is that there's people out traveling, commuting, people going to from work, people coming out of school. It's about to be rush hour soon. The sun's gonna be setting in a few hours. And then it's Friday. You add that to the mix. Yeah, we pass all these little blocks. They have another one of those, don't poop, be respectful. We got the Great Wall Chinese food business on our left. We got a Rite Aid on our left-hand side. And a gigantic school. That school was made in 1925. 1925. In a few years, it'll be 100-year. The 100-year anniversary, right? I was passing one of these little chicken spots. It's one of those little slaughterhouses. Look at this little block. Look at this little block. I'm about to go through this jam. Look at this little tiny block. For sale. So that's 1439. 1439. What block is this? Is this 1439? Baluya? How do you say this? Wow, look at this. Look at these little houses. Wow, look at nice bricks. And I like that crown right there. Look at this. They got a balcony over here. Talking about pimping. They got a balcony, and right across the street, they got a whole 3rd floor. You got some mosaic art right here. All right, we're approaching Franklin Street. We're gonna cross Franklin, we're gonna hit 8th Street. We're gonna cross over 8th Street. Once we get to 9th, we're gonna walk northbound back to Washington. Sydney's Beauty Salon. Passing Mildred. My homie used to live in this block right here. And my homie used to live here. This is right around the corner from Ginos. For Ginos and Passyunk, that's right around the corner. Literally, right around the corner. On the 1400 block of Darien. Punch buggy, no punch back. Punch whoever next to you. Your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your niece, your nephew. Whoever. Punch him. See, remember I was telling you that little Saigon was right next to Passyunk Square and all of that? The neighborhood Passyunk crossing and all of this stuff over here. We're right here next to Passyunk, watch. We're approaching Earp Street, E-A-R-P. Sounds like ear. Sounds like Earl. Earp, Earp, Arp. All right, so we're approaching after ear. We're approaching Sears, and then Sears turns to Percy Street. Got more mosaic art across the street. And as you'll see very shortly, you'll see the famous tourist traps, Pat's Steaks and Ginos, where people come to get Philadelphia cheesesteaks. People usually come from all over to try them. When they come to the city, the first place they want to do is stop there just to grab one. All right, we're on Wharton, 9th and Wharton. So that's Pat's. As you can see the Philadelphia skyline in the background, you see it? We're on 9th and Passyunk. That is Pat's King of Steaks. And then over here, we have Ginos. Passing South Philly Bar and Grill. I shot a music video over here in this park, but back in the day when the mobsters used to run all of this down here, this is the park that they used to meet at. Joey Marino used to manage a little league team, and the old mobsters used to come to this park back in the day and meet up. Here's Ginos. So if you guys went to see the proximity, there goes Ginos. And then over here, you got Pat's. So that's how close the competition is. You'll have plenty of people let you know that you'll go to a mom and pop spot in the city that you might find a better cheesesteak. But I guess it's all based on personal preference. Oh, you also got the Italian market over here. I forgot all about that. The smell is so potent. You can smell it. You smell the onions and you smell the ketchup. So right now we're walking towards the Italian market. Now this actually runs through Passyunk, the Passyunk Square neighborhood, and also Bella Vista, which is another neighborhood in South Philly, which is right across Washington Ave. Bella Vista has some of the Italian market in it. Now, if you've ever seen the Rocky movie, when Rocky jogs through the Italian market, the food market where everybody's outside, this is it. This is the block. It's actually on the next block, but this is the whole strip that's all classified as the Italian market. Somebody's alarm is going off. Going off like crazy.
Exactly. Cheesesteaks like this is Tuesday. Don't expect it to be graded by tomorrow.
Yeah, barbershop. South Philly barbacoa. All types of goods in case you want to get goods, fruits. Look, you get bicycles. You could probably cop a nice one for the low. That'll get you from point A to point B. I shot a jazz promotional video right here before. It's Connie Max or Connie's Rick Rack. Right there, Connie's Rick Rack. Shot a video on there before. Got a huge piece of empty space on my right. But when you cross over, then that's when you enter the true Italian market. We'll go down like a block or two, and then we'll make a right, and we'll take it eastbound, all the way past like 2nd Street. I just want to plant the seed a little bit. You know, there's no way we're gonna be able to cover the whole entire neighborhood today, but I just wanted to show you guys around so you can see what Philadelphia is looking like on a Friday. About to be evening. We're at 9th and Washington. So if you want to come to the Italian market in Philadelphia, you got to come to 9th and Washington. It's a very diverse neighborhood, as you can see, as far as cultural backgrounds go. You have everything from Asians to Hispanics to Polish and a variety of other different like Italians and stuff, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get past her. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, they want to be down there, yeah.
A lot of fruits to make your mouth water, right? Oh, hey, over there, listen to the Backstreet Boys. Watermelons, cantaloupes, oranges, tangerines, mangoes, peaches, tomatoes, ganapa, spinach, peppers, onions, green beans. Oh man, the list goes on. Nectarines, kiwi, dragon fruit, pomegranate, sweet plum. And this is actually on an emptier day because this gets more packed and there's usually more vendors out. But for some reason today, maybe a lot of them closed up shop early, but there's not that many vendors with their stuff out on the table. You can get your foods, all your little foods, cheeses, olives, meats, vinegars, your hats, plants. I think I'm gonna walk this way, right here. I just decided to shoot eastbound. We had probably like a little quarter of a block left that we could have walked, but something drew me into this block. Now we're gonna make a right when we get to the corner. We're gonna go to Washington and then we'll walk eastbound on Washington Avenue. Look at that house over there. Look at the roof deck. You see how they got the spiral staircase? That gate is a little questionable. It looks a little suspect. It looks loose, like old wood, dry rotted wood, but it's a nice idea. Look at that. We're passing Hall Street. No outlet. Look at that. Hall Street to no outlet. 700 block of Hall. Di Giorgio and Tumulilo or Tumulio. That means that whoever probably started this right here is probably not Asians, Italian. That sounds like an Italian name. Di Giorgio. Di Giorgio. Reminds me of DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Alright, we're approaching Carpenter. So we're gonna walk this straight up towards Washington. Oh, this is the block with the Vietnamese travel agency. 8th and Washington, the block we went on earlier. Only difference I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just cut left. All right, we're back at Washington Ave. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn on the 700 block of Washington Ave. I'm gonna be traveling eastbound. We're now approaching the 1000 block of East Passyunk Ave. The last I remember, they had a pretty good little pretzel factory right here too. It's coming up. There's a little pretzel spot, a little garage to sell pretzels. It's like a bakery. Matter of fact, speaking of pretzels, I'm craving pretzels now. I want a soft pretzel. I'm serious. After this, I will make it a mental note to eat a pretzel. If this place ain't open, then I'm gonna go to Wawa. I'm gonna go to Wawa. Yeah, Wawa be having soft pretzels too. Ones that I can eat. I'm gonna cross the street. I'm gonna go on the opposite side. Because that's the side that the pretzel business was on. I think it's on, what is it, 4th Street? 5th Street? Or did I pass it already? Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna cross Washington. I think I would have noticed it if I walked by it. Unless I was just in that much of a la-la land that I wasn't really paying attention. This is that plaza that we passed earlier, the New World Plaza, with all the Asian businesses. We're approaching 6th in Washington. Right now we're at 6th Street, the intersection of 6th and Washington. Passing a dentist business. Oriental supermarket. Yeah, I think I passed a little garage that makes pretzels. Or did I? Is it this spot right here? Nah, this ain't it. Yeah, it's probably more on like 7th, 8th Street. I probably just wasn't paying attention. Oh, look at that classic. All right, we're on 5th and Washington. We're now approaching 5th Street. We have the 1100 block of 5th Street to our right, the 1000 block of 5th Street to our left. We're traveling eastbound on Washington Avenue.